Imagine buying Bitcoin, real self-custodied Bitcoin, without handing over your ID, your address, or your biometric data. No surveillance exchange, just peer-to-peer freedom. While most people are blindly uploading selfies to shady platforms, you are about to learn how to opt out, stay private, and take control. In this video, I'll show you how to use HodlHodl to buy and sell Bitcoin privately with no ID required. I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session. So what exactly is HodlHodl? It is a global peer-to-peer marketplace. HodlHodl just functions as the intermediary in order to link you with other individuals, but you get to stay in control during the transactional process. Now, it supports multiple currencies and payment methods across various jurisdictions around the world. They have a ton of options, and we'll see them in a bit. So what do you need before we get started? Number one, you're going to need a self-custody Bitcoin wallet. Now, we're going to be utilizing Sparrow Wallet today in our example. I will drop a link down below to an in-depth tutorial I've done on that if you want to check it out. But other than that, any regular Bitcoin wallet will do you just fine. And you're also going to need a HodlHodl account, and that only requires an email address, a strong password, and an application for two-factor authentication. It will ask you with that app to scan a QR code, and it's going to give you a 6-digit number that cycles every 60 seconds. It gives you a new code every 60 seconds so that somebody trying to hack your account would not have that information remotely. So let's hit up HodlHodl. So here we are on the HodlHodl website. I am currently logged in to my account here, HODL Sessions, and we see a few things. Up top, we see buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin. They do have peer-to-peer lending as well. I've covered that in the video before. You can check that out on my channel. Down below, we have the option to create an offer. Now, let's just look at the overall list of offers to buy and sell Bitcoin on the website. So I'm gonna, up at the top, choose buy Bitcoin, and I'm going to choose, for instance, euros, because there's a lot of offers in Europe here. But I can begin to peruse through all of these different offers. And let's see what we're looking at, what information is provided to us when we look at these different offers. So let's see here. We have the person's username, and just below a person's username, you have their rating and the number of trades that they have done. And so ideally what you're looking for is somebody with a very high percentage rating and a high number of trades, enough that you would be certain that that rate is reflective of how they're going to handle transactions with people. And this, it's kind of like eBay, where you get a rating over time and you try to maintain it, or Uber or something like that. Next to it, it has the price in the currency you've designated that this person is selling Bitcoin at. Some people will add a premium to the Bitcoin they're selling. So if I scroll a little bit, I can see, okay, they're pulling the price from Binance and they're adding 0.5%, or this person's adding almost a full percent. And as you go further down the list, you will see more and more expensive options as you get down there. And it really, the how expensive it is, it might be somebody has a payment method that other people aren't willing to deal with. Next in the column here, we see the limits. How much Bitcoin is this person willing to sell? So up top, we can see some examples: 200 to 900 euro, 400 to 1,000 euro. And we can see that all the way down the list. Furthermore, we also see a column for payment methods. What different payment methods are available here? You can designate all this in the drop downs above, and it will only show you those options, but I'm just showing you what is here. And then any other details that the person has provided in the notes off to the right. So this is how we look through buying or selling Bitcoin on the platform. We can look through and find an offer that applies to us. All right, so here is an example of an offer that I found so that I can purchase Bitcoin. And just looking over it really quick here, I see the person's username and their rating and the number of trades they've done. 100% with 52 trades. That looks good to me. I see the price that they're selling Bitcoin at in Canadian dollars and how much they're willing to sell. And I also see their payment methods, and Interac e-transfer works well for me in my jurisdiction. Down below, it's going to ask me for some information. How much Bitcoin up to $50 do I want to purchase? What Bitcoin address am I going to send it to? And again, select a payment method. This person, I believe, only has Interac e-transfer, but if there were more, there'd be a drop-down arrow here that I could see the other options. Either way, this all looks good to me, and I'm going to purchase $50 worth of Bitcoin from this person. I just need to jump over and I need to grab a Bitcoin address from my Bitcoin wallet. So we'll just jump over to my other screen here. I have Sparrow Wallet open. I'm going to hit receive, and I'll just make a little note for myself. It's from HodlHodl, and I'll copy the Bitcoin address. So this long string here, and I'll make note of the first few and the last few digits so that when I paste it, I know it looks the same. That looks good to me. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit this big blue button, accept offer for 50 Canadian dollars. And here we are. We're into the contract. And so what this does is, again, it shows me all the details here. And I can say, hey, looking forward to our trade, or whatever I want to say. But this is a live chat off to the right between myself and the person that is trading. I'm going to accept the contract again here with the blue button. And it asks me to enter a payment password that I would like to use for this contract. So I'm going to do that now. And then it asks me for a 2-factor authentication code. Again, remember, this will be using the Google Authenticator app. But either way, I see the latest code there. I'll type that in, and I'll confirm the payment password and start a contract. There we go. So now it's on the other person to deposit Bitcoin into the escrow where it will sit. And then I will get a notification when that has taken place. A couple minutes later, quick little update. It says that funds have been sent to escrow. So the person has deposited the Bitcoin that I'm looking to purchase. And it gives me the balance, the transaction ID, all this information. Now, it doesn't yet have a confirmation. Remember that Bitcoin transactions can take somewhere on average in the realm of 10 minutes to fully confirm. Okay, so things have now moved on. The transaction has a confirmation, and we can see that Bitcoins are now safely locked in escrow. Please proceed with the payment using the details below. It says amount to be sent, 50 Canadian dollars. And here are the payment details. It says send an Interac e-transfer for the above amount to Ricardo Nixon. Great name. Ricardo Nixon at 1971 at protonmail.com. And there's the details of the Bitcoin there. So I have now sent the Interac e-transfer, and I will say I've sent, and off it goes. Interac e-transfer sent. Let me know if you get it okay. So effectively, we're now waiting on the seller to confirm that they've received the funds of the traditional payment. And actually, I do see a message. Got it. We'll release the funds now. And so what should happen now is that my key is ready to go. His key is ready to go. And if we are amicable here, then we will be able to unlock the funds and send them to my own Bitcoin address. We can see escrow details, Bitcoin released to the following address, which is mine, and then I can rate. But let's double check and make sure that that transaction comes in. It should pop in here momentarily. So we'll see a little, oh, there we go. Notification up top. Go to transactions. There is our money from HodlHodl coming into the wallet. This is in US dollars if you're unsure why the discrepancy there. And then I can jump back and I can say, hey, great experience. Great experience. Wonderful seller. and I can submit a review. It's important, I think, to leave reviews for each other on the platform because it not only helps the person as a seller, but it helps better inform other people on the platform which people are trustworthy and worth engaging with and expedient in their transactions. So there we go. We've now gone through the process of purchasing Bitcoin peer-to-peer via HodlHodl. We are now looking to sell Bitcoin to another individual on the platform. And in this instance, actually, the same user was gracious enough to create an offer for us so that we could have that experience and demo it here. So again, I see their username. Now, I have my payment information that I've already filled in, but you can always, if you don't already have something here, you can hit create new payment instruction, which is instructing the person how, using the designated payment mechanism, Interact e-transfer or whatever it is, how they can pay you. And this is just for the person in this contract to see. And so, okay, great. I can go ahead. I can say, well, I would like to sell $50 worth of Bitcoin. I would like to be paid via Interact e-transfer. And I've already set out the e-transfer instructions. Send me an e-transfer at the following address. I have auto deposit, but if it does ask for any information, just use this question and security answer, and we're all good to go. So I'm going to go through, same thing, accept the offer. And here we go. So here's our contract overview. We see all of the terms as before, and I can send a quick message. Hey, again, thanks for helping. There we go. And I'm going to accept the contract. And once again, I'm going to need to create a password. And I'm going to enter my two-factor authentication from my Google Authenticator app. So I'm going to do that right now and confirm. And we are into the contract now. Okay, so this individual has now accepted the contract and has created their password and all of that. So it's telling us what we need to do next. It says, hey, we need to send this exact amount of Bitcoin to the following address. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. First thing, I will copy the Bitcoin address, make note of the first and last few digits, and let's just jump over to our wallet and go to the send screen. So I'll paste in that Bitcoin address. I'm going to make a note. Again, this is to HodlHodl, just for my own records. And then how much Bitcoin do I need to send? I can just copy the amount here and paste it in. I want this to go through quickly, especially because we're recording a tutorial. So I'll just bump up the fee a little bit, make sure, although fees are low right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to hit the blue buttons here in Sparrow to send off the transaction. So as soon as that gets sent and it is detected by HodlHodl, our screen should change and the receiver should be notified. So off it goes. Jump back here. And again, it will check momentarily to see if the funds are there. There we go. So the funds, it says, have been sent to escrow. Yes, we know that. And I can let them know funds sent, good to go after confirmation. All right. So my transaction has now been confirmed. I can let them know that that is the case. And at this point, again, we're waiting on the individual to go ahead and send a payment to me via Interact e-transfer. Okay, jumping ahead, the person has now sent the fiat payment. I've gone on to my banking account. I do see it there. I've received the 50 Canadian dollars. And so the last thing for me to do is say, hey, I'm ready to release the Bitcoin from escrow. Now, if the person claimed to have paid me, but I was not seeing it, first off, I would, be sending messages here saying, I don't see it. Let's resolve this, everything. If the person continued to insist or give me issues, at that point I could choose to start a dispute. And this is where HodlHodl would now step in and say, all right, you say that you haven't received your fiat payment. Okay, BTC or slavery here. We need you to show proof that you sent it as per the instructions in the payment details here. If that person was unable to provide those appropriate documentation and details, then I would basically be refunded for my Bitcoin using my key and HodlHodl's key. And if he was not able to provide those details, or rather the vice versa, he was able to provide those details and prove it, then they would use his key and their key to make sure that the Bitcoin did get to him. But no dispute here. Everything went as planned. So I'm going to click release Bitcoin. It's going to ask for my payment password, which I'll do now. And I'll say payment received, release Bitcoin. And there we go. The contract is now complete. I've previously already reviewed this person, so I don't need to do that. I could update it if I really wanted to. And we are all done. I might just say a quick thank you. And we're good to go. We've now successfully sold Bitcoin for local currency on HodlHodl. So with that, we will go through a little bit of the details of what's happening in the background with the whole escrow system. I will drop a link down below to an in-depth tutorial I've done on that if you want to check it out. But other than that, I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session.